Okay. Thank you for showing up again for your practice. So today is going to be more of like a power vinyasa. And I want to add in just a little bit of like a bigger thought to bring into our movement today. Some philosophy that I've been studying with my teacher. And I think that it will support the movement and how we can go through a power vinyasa class and find just a little bit more of ease and placing all of the effort on the physical body. So there are 4 layers to the nature of the mind, and then today what we're going to look at and try to be the embodiment of is the first layer, which is manas. So it is the nature of the mind to move, and you know, that's moving from the internal world to the external world. Really, there's like 5 things that draw senses that draw us out, and 5 ways that we like intake information. And so manas is constantly, you know, distracted, for lack of better words. It's constantly moving through all these sources of information, and it usually goes to whatever one is speaking the loudest, right? So if there's something in the physical body that is a major source of challenge, then it might zip there. If there's a loud sound outside, then manas will move there. It's not, to create a distinction, manas is not the intelligence that has an awareness of what it is, or a preference, or a judgment, or, you know, the sense to be able to say, you know, I like this or I don't like this, this is good or this is bad, right? That's more of falling in the line of our intelligence. It's just that movement. So today on our mat, I want to see if we can kind of study that movement of the mind, move with it with our body, see if we can synchronize the two. And so in doing so, I want you, as we move today, to create a distinction for yourself of moving through these postures without getting into the space of over-analyzing how you're doing them. Like, are you doing them very well or not? Do you like this posture or do you not? Consider it's just the movement that we're exploring. So with that conversation, let's go ahead and get started into child's pose. And so we're going to begin to get to know this part of ourselves, of the mind. First, in child's pose, can you just take the seat in observer? And can you notice how the mind moves? See how it collects information from the external world, the sounds, the temperature of the room, the smell of the room. How it moves to the internal, noticing how your body feels. The feeling of your breath. And take a couple more moments here just to be and practice being more so in that space of observation. On your next breath, rise up into a tabletop position. Cow pose as you inhale. Round your spine into cat as you exhale. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, roll through to cat. Continue to move through your cat-cow, flexing and extending your spine, or if you want to get more into the side body, you can take dancing lion. by swirling your chest in a big circle from the ceiling to the floor. Again, right away, if you're in Dancing Lion, you're starting hopefully to, as we reach these more fluid circular movements, kind of blur the lines of this is the right or the wrong way to do this. And just allow yourself to be absorbed in the movement itself. Take one more breath. Come back to a neutral spine. Turn your fingers towards your thighs so the front of your wrists are open up towards the top of your mat. And then slide your shoulders back until the heel of your hand peels up off of the floor. Shift the weight forward so your palms ground and your shoulders stack over the wrists. And then do it again. Slide your shoulders back. Let the heel of the hand peel up. Maybe even the palm of your hand starts to peel up. And then shift forward, grounding the heel of your hand. This time as you go back, see if you can peel up the palm of your hand until you feel the base knuckles grounded. Base knuckles to fingertips. And then shift, shoulders right over wrist, heel of the hand grounded. Last time, you're gonna peel all the way back. Keep lifting the palm of your hand and roll up and over your fingertips. Bring the back of your hands down, fingertips facing one another. Bend your elbows, create fists. And then straighten your arms and release the fists. Bend your elbows, create fists. Straighten your arms, release your hands. One more time, bend your elbows, create fists. Can you keep the fist and start to straighten your elbows? Hold, take a couple big breaths. Keep curling your fingers in towards your palms. Even if they don't move, just that thought of intention will usually create a deeper sensation. Your mind will jump to that sensation. Take one more breath. And then release your hands, plant them forward at the top of your mat. Swivel your right shin and toes out to the side of your mat at a 45-degree angle. Extend your left leg back. Stretch your left arm up towards the ceiling, gate pose. Left arm reaches over your head, so your bicep is in line with your ear, and then pull your left arm back towards the wall behind you. Big circle towards the back of your mats, and then forward over your head, and then reverse that big slow circle. Stretch your left arm over your head, get grounded in your right hand, lift your left leg up off of the mat. Think of crunching your left ribs towards your left hip, so you're engaging your left side waist. Pull your left knee in towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Left hand comes down, low lunge, bend into your right knee deeper, left knee deeper. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And take another big breath. Stretch your right arm back towards your right thigh. Lift your left arm up and pull your belly away from your left thigh, creating a slight upper back bend. Both arms reach up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale, place both hands down. Lift your back knee. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot and reach your right hip towards the floor. Your left hand can stay grounded on your left thigh or stretch up towards the ceiling, but allow your right shoulder to come up toward your ears. Your hip melts towards the floor. Take one more big breath here. Low lunge, left toes forward, right knee down. Inhale, both arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Keep melting your right hip forward. Exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Extend your left leg into half split. Flex your toes towards your face. Keep your right hand on the ground. Twist your left arm up towards the ceiling. Open your left side waist as you breathe in. Exhale, place your left hand down on the ground. Tuck your right toes under, walk your hands back, sit onto your right heel, and then keep going all the way back till you sit behind your right heel. Right knee points up towards the ceiling. Big breath, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. With an exhale, twist to the right. Wrap your left elbow around your right knee, sit your chest up tall. Breathe in once. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Untwist your upper body. Keep grounded on your right foot. Use your core to lift your hips up off of the ground. So you're rounding your spine over your right thigh. Right heel is down on the ground. If it's lifted, it's okay. Use the pit of your belly to float your left leg up off of the mat. Maybe even stretch your hands forward. Hold here. Think of sucking the left thigh bone into the stomach from the strength of your core. One more breath. Ground your hands, bend into your left knee, come back into your low lunge. Big inhale, lift your right knee all the way up. With an exhale, warrior two, open up. Reverse your warrior as you breathe in. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Step back with your left leg floating in the air, one-legged plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Shift forward into high plank. Bring your knees down, tabletop position. Swivel your left shin out to a 45-degree angle, gate pose. Extend your right leg, keep it grounded. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Stretch your right bicep over your ear. Do one big circle, pulling your right arm behind your ear. And then reverse the direction of your circle. Stretch your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Lift your right leg up off of the floor. Hold and crunch your right side waist, bringing your side ribs closer to the side hip. Keep your right leg strong and toes awake and aware. Curl your right knee in towards your chest. Step your right foot towards the top of your mat. Left toes swivel to the back of the mat. Low lunge, reach both arms all the way up. Allow the left hip to open up as you sink your hips lower. And then stretch your left hand behind you, reaching towards your left hamstring. Pull your right arm back and down, drawing your shoulder away from your ear to curl your heart away from your right thigh. Can you push through your right foot and draw your belly farther away from your right leg? Windmill your hands down to the ground. Lift your back knee, roll onto the pinky edge side of your left foot. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot so your knee draws away from you. And allow your hips to melt towards the floor. Again, your right arm can reach up, your right hand can be on your right thigh. These things are more particular, which we might do in a slower class, but now we're just trying to move. Get like the gross movement down. The macro, take one more big breath. Untwist your upper body, low lunge, left knee down, both arms up, big inhale. Exhale, place your hands down, take a half split, straighten out your right leg and pull your right toes towards your face. Keep your left hand on the mat, inhale your right arm up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your collarbones forward as you pull your outer right hip back. Place your right hand down on the ground, tuck your left toes under. Begin to walk your hands back, sitting onto your right heel, and continue to walk your hands and your hips back until you sit behind your heel. Right leg is straight, left knee is bent, both arms reach up, lengthen your spine. Wrap your right arm around your left knee, left hand comes behind you. Take a deep breath to get longer in your spine through the crown of your head. Twist as you exhale. Untwist your upper body. Lift your hips from the strength of your core. See if you can keep your left heel down. If it floats up, that's okay. Pull your right leg up off of the ground. Hold from the strength of your right quad and your core. Maybe you're just thinking about pulling the foot up. Hold for one more breath. Ground your hands. Push off your left foot to bend deep into your right knee. Crescent warrior, both knees are off of the ground, arms reach up. Warrior two, open up. Reverse your warrior. Big inhale. Windmill your hands to the ground. One-legged plank. Your right leg stays floating as it reaches back. One-legged low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Push back to downward facing dog. Pedal push your heels. Take a deep breath. Shift forward into high plank. Stretch your right arm forward. Feel the work of flexion in your shoulder, your bicep in line with your ear. Place your right hand down. Stretch your left hand forward. Get grounded in your right hand and in your legs. Left hand down. Reach your right hand forward, left leg up. Both down. Left hand forward, right leg up. Both come back down. One more time. Right arm, left leg. And down. Use the strength of the whole back body. Left arm, right leg. And both come down. Push back to downward facing dog. Shorten your stance. Stretch your left hand to the outside of your right ankle or shin. Push through your right palm. Push until you create some space around your shoulder joint, and then twist your left ribs under your right. Create effort in your breath. Big inhale. Slow down your exhale. Untwist. Left hand grounds. Find stability in the left arm before you lift the right arm up. Take the right hand to your left leg. Twist. Keep pushing through your left palm to lift your chest even farther away from the floor. Deep breath. Release your right hand, lift your heels high, and walk your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold tight. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little tighter. One more time, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold as tight as you can. Rise all the way up, mountain pose, big breath. Hands to your heart center. 5 sun A's. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Exhale, look forward. Step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward folds. Mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. High to low plank. Up dog. Down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Step or hop forward, halfway lifts. Folds. Mountain. Folds. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Empty. Feet to hands. Lengthen. Folds. Mountain. Folds. Lengthen. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Down dog. Breathe in. Empty. Step or hop. Lengthen. Folds. Mountain. Folds. Lengthen. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Empty. Step or hop. Halfway lift. Forward folds. Rise up mountain. Hands to your heart center. Pause. Place a hand on your heart, a hand on your stomach, and close your eyes. Observe the movement of the mind. Notice all the points that awareness touches. Take one more deep breath. Open your eyes, stretch your arms up, mountain pose. Sit your hips back and down to chair pose. Weight in your heels. Keep your hips low, lift your sternum even higher. And then sweep your hands behind you, bring your chest to your thighs, skiers pose, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, reach your arms and your chest up. Feel the strength in your shoulders. Exhale, arms back, chest parallel to the floor. 2 more. With an inhale, stretch up. Hips stay low, chest comes to thighs. 1 more. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, arms back, chest to thighs, pause, ground into your right foot. Stretch your left leg back, airplane. Push through your right leg to straighten it all the way. Bend your right knee, touch your left toes lightly down, crescent warrior, reach your arms all the way up, big breath. Open arm twist to the right as you exhale. Reverse your warrior. Low lunge twist, left hand down, right arm reaches all the way up. Drop onto the pinky edge side of your left heel, side plank, step your feet together. Lift your hips 1 inch higher, breathe in. Exhale, place both hands down on the ground and then pause in your high plank. Stretch your left arm forward, right leg back. And then keep your left arm and your right leg lifted as you push back through the right palm to downward facing dog. 1 arm, 1 leg. Sweep your left arm behind you, up towards your hips and your glutes. Keep pushing strong through your right arm. Get grounded in your left foot and leg. Shift forward. Keep your right leg and left arm floating. Left arm reaches towards the front of the mat. Strong left leg, strong right arm. Both hands down, high plank. Exhale, low. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Big breath out. Step or hop to your hands. Lift and lengthen. Folds. Sit low into chair pose. Hips low, shoulders pull back beside your ears. Strong flexion in your shoulders. Skier's pose, chest is parallel to the floor as your arms reach back. Your shoulders should be just as strong but in a different direction. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Exhale, skier's pose. Inhale, chair, hips stay low and grounded. Exhale, skiers. 2 more, chair, skiers. 1 more, chair. Hold your skier's pose, chest parallel to the floor. Ground your left foot. Extend the right leg back, airplane. Push through your left foot to straighten your left leg and engage your left quad. Crescent warrior, touch your right toes down. Reach your arms up. Open arm twist. Reverse. Low lunge twist, right hand down, left arm up. Roll onto the pinky edge side of your right foot. Stack your feet, side plank. Bring both hands down, high plank. Pause here. Stretch your right hand forward and your left leg up. Feel the connection between the strength in your left glute and your right shoulder. Then push through the left hand, draw your chest to your thighs. Take down dog with your left leg and right arm lifted. Can you sweep your right arm behind you, pointing in the direction of your hips? Lift your hips a little higher, strengthen up your right quad. Come back to your plank, left leg stays lifted, right arm reaches straight forward, ground through your right big toe ball mound. High plank, low plank, up dog, make space at the sides of your neck, downward facing dog. Breathe in, empty out, step or hop to your hands, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Hands to your heart, twist to the right. Left elbow hooks to the outside of your right thigh. Squeeze your palms together to energize your right arm and draw your right shoulder blade towards your spine to open your chest. Shift weight to the right foot. Keep a bend in your right knee. Extend your left leg back. Kick through the heel and lift it high till you feel your left glute engage. Touch your left toes down. Crescent warrior, both arms reach up, inhale. Warrior two, exhale, open up. Sweep your arms forward. Point your left toes out to the left, straighten your right leg. Skandasana, slowly lower your hips as you bend your left knee. Warrior two, keep your hips low, bend your right knee and feel strong through your feet, open your chest. Sweep your arms straight in front of you. Straighten out your right leg. Keep pushing through your feet so you can control the lowering with resistance. Flex your right toes towards your face. Slowly lower your hips down to the ground. And then allow your left knee to open up, connecting the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Drop your right forearm or hand to the inside of your right shin. Lengthen your left arm up and over your head. Pull your right toes towards your face. Draw your right thigh bone into the hip socket. Take one more deep breath. Lift your left hand up towards the ceiling and place it behind your back, right at your tailbone. Roll up onto your left shin, stretch your right arm up and over your head. Lift your hips. Ground your left palm to open your chest. Slowly lower your hips. Point your left foot back up towards the ceiling. And can you lift up into Skandasana once again? Warrior two, bend your right knee, open your arms. Straighten out your right leg. Trikonasana, right hand down. Left arm up. Take a deep breath in. Effortful, slow breath out. Half moon pose. Stretch your right hand forward, a foot in front of the pinky toe, so diagonal from the pinky toe, so you have width at your foundation. Both hands down to the ground, standing split. Stretch your left leg high, shift your hips forward as you fold over your right leg. And then ground your palms. So everyone, we're gonna do hop switches in the air. Mana, the movement of the mind, will probably be very obvious as we do these. So I want you to do two things, hop switch, and also remember that word, manas, the movement. Ground your palms. Lift your right heel as you breathe in. As you exhale, hop switch, your legs in the air. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, hop switch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hop. Inhale. Hop. One more inhale. Exhale, hop. Land in your standing splits. Bring both feet down. Interlace your fingers at your low back. Let your knuckles reach to the ceiling and drop your head towards the floor. The movement of the mind jumps to whatever is the loudest. Not just in the ears the loudest, but whatever has the most sensation, what is drawing the most attention. And notice how it skips and moves. It might be a thought, it might be my voice, it might be the struggle of breath. Bend your knees, chair pose, big inhale. Twist to the left as you exhale. Rotate your left shoulder towards the ceiling as you scoop your right ribs towards the floor. Ground into your left foot, extend your right leg straight back. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling so you strengthen through the posterior chain. Drop your right toes down. Ground into the right leg, crescent warrior, big breath. Warrior two, open up. Reverse your warrior. Stretch your arms straight forward in front of you. Straighten out your left leg. Turn the right toes slightly to the back of your mat, Skandasana. Keep pushing your right foot down as you lower your hips. Push off your right foot as you bend your left knee, warrior two. Lengthen your spine, open your chest. Reach your arms forward, Skandasana. Bend into your knee, right knee, left leg stays straight, slowly lower. And then have a seat all the way down. Connect the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Place your left hand to the inside of your left shin. Stretch your right arm up and over to a side bend. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and place it behind you, like in line with your tailbone. Curl yourself up onto your right shin. Lift your hips. Open your chest. Lengthen through your left arm. Lower your hips. Rotate your right knee back up towards the ceiling. Can you push yourself up into Skandasana? And then open up into warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Triangle pose. Left hand down, right arm up. Both legs are straight, both quads are engaged. Half moon pose, left hand forward, right leg lifts. Squeeze the outer hips to find stability through them. Both hands down, standing split. Deepen into the hamstring stretch first. Stay strong with your right leg to anchor your upper body dropping forward. Ground the palms, straight elbows. So hands flat even if you need to bend your left knee. You can keep the left knee bent and still lift your left heel high. Inhale. Exhale, hop switch. Inhale. Push through your hands. Exhale, hop switch. Breathe in, lock out the elbows. Exhale, hop switch. Inhale. Hop switch. Inhale. Hop switch. One more inhale. Hop switch. Land with your right leg in the air, standing splits. Let both feet come down. Separate your feet wider than your mat. Sit your hips down low into Malasana. Hands together at your heart. Close your eyes. Observe the movement of the mind. Notice the challenge of staying anchored in one place, right? It's not the nature. We move from the emotional body to thought, to breath, to physical sensation, to temperature. It's not a right or a wrong or a good or a bad thing. It's just seeing if you can step into that space of self-observation. Plant your palms. Take crow pose. Crow. If you fall out, keep bringing one foot up and then the other foot up. Keep moving. Moving at the speed of manas. Take one more big breath. Land your feet into Malasana, low squats. Lift your chest, heart high, big breath. One more time, crow pose. Round your spine. Use the strength of your core and your hamstrings to curl your heels up to your glutes. 3 breaths. Push down through the palms as you squeeze your elbows together. Land your feet. Lift your hips up slowly towards the ceiling. Take gorilla pose. Step on your palms. Breathe in to lengthen your spine. Lift your shoulders off of your ears as you forward fold. Lift halfway up. Take reverse gorilla. Fingers point towards your heels. Palms are on the ground, so you're opening up the wrist. Breathe in. Deep forward fold. Release the hands. Halfway lifts. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Bend your knees, chair pose. Keep your hips low. Stretch your arms out to a T and your left leg out to the side of your mat. At the same time, wrap your left leg over and your left arm under your right. Left leg over, left arm under. Garudasana. Straighten your right leg and lift your left elbow towards your knees. Straighten the right leg all the way, lift a little taller. Unravel, dancer pose, grab your left foot. Kick into your hand, but pull your foot towards you with the strength of your left arm. Lift up tall, chair pose, sit low. Stretch your right leg out and your arms out to a T. Keep the weight of your hips back in your left heel. And then controlled, right leg goes over, right arm goes under at the same time. You're swirling around the midline of your body. Pull your right knee to your elbows. Push the left foot down as you stand tall. Your left quad should be working. Your glute should be working. Lift your chest and elbows taller. Dancer, unravel, catch your foot behind you. Reach forward, kick back. Kick back and pull your foot forward. Right arm is strong. Release, mountain pose, big breath. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Shift forward into high plank and bring your knees down to the ground. For camel, roll up your mat if you want the extra cushion underneath your knees. Start with your toes tucked so your heels are high. Bring your hands to the back of your hips. Scoop out the pit of your belly as you lift your collarbones tall to the ceiling first. And then squeeze your elbows together to open your chest. Stay here, bring your hands back towards your heels. If you can, bring your palms to the inside of your heels and squeeze your heels in towards your palms to help open your chest even more. Now take a big breath to fill up all the way up to your collarbones. Exhale, pull your belly in to lift your chest tall. Keep your toes tucked. Sit back onto your heels. Hands together at your heart. Can you draw your heels in so you're anchored into the big toe ball mound? Lift one knee or both knee up, toe stand. Squeeze your thighs together. Lift up from your belly a little taller through the crown of your head. With control, lower your knees. Lift your hips. Bring your hands behind you, this time heels high, or tuck your toes the other way, toenails down, heels low. Lift your chest. Camel's pose. Work to keep your hips towards your knees. 2 big breaths. Inhale, lift up. Keep your toenails down or unflip your toes if they're up. Toenails down, sit back to your heels. Reach your hands behind you. Enough to get the stretch in your quad. Then lift one knee up off of the mat. Stretch out the front of your ankle. Think of pushing all 5 of your right toes down as you lift your right knee up. So you're keeping that alignment of a straight ankle and extension. Lift the other knee up. And again, reach down through the pinky toe and through the big toe. Both knees down. Lift your chest. Unravel your mats. Separate your heels for hero's pose. Sit in between your heels. So your calves, your shins are to the outside of your thighs. Maybe you stay here. If you can't access this, you're going to do one-legged hero's pose. So your left leg will stay bent, your right leg will extend. I'll tell you when to switch if you're doing just one leg. Of course, the farther back you go, the more sensation you'll draw into your quads. If you're doing one leg, take 3 more breaths. If you're doing one leg, now's the time to switch. If you're doing both, you stay and you hold and you're observing, which I don't say that as like an easy sort of task. It's a practice on its own to be able to step into that seat of our mind, to create enough space that you are not necessarily the one that's moving or doing, but you have the space, a little bit of separation, so you can see that the mind is moving through all of these parts, even when the body is still. Everyone has about 3 more breaths. On your next breath, lift your chest all the way up. Come out of the pose. We're going to all meet in downward facing dog. So just find your way there. Hold your down dog. Again, create the distinction, right? It's like for me right now, this down dog feels so good. Just like instinctually good, like a big release. And that is the intelligence that's wrapped up with preferences and judgments. The movement of the mind is slightly different. It's noticing those thoughts. It's noticing the sensation of the body. On your next breath, shift forward into high plank and slowly lower all the way down to your stomach. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pause for a moment. Pull the pit of the belly in and up so you lengthen your low back, and then lift your chest as you lift your fists and your arms. Think of stretching your collarbones and sternum forward, and then lift your toes. Create more length in your spine. One more breath. Lengthen and then lift. Exhale, release. Bend your knees. Grab onto your ankles or your feet. If you can't quite catch them, take the pose we just did, fingers interlaced. Same sort of work, it just looks a little different. Kick back if you have your feet. Lift up if you have your fingers interlaced. Bow or locust. Keep lengthening as you lift. One more breath. Release all the way down, but bend your knees, let your feet windshield wiper side to side. Relax your head, drop your shoulders for a moment. Drop your feet, plant your palms by your side waist. Move from up dog to down dog or just straight back to down dog. Look forward, step or hop through to your seat. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. Lift your chest tall. And then fold over your legs. Lift your chest up. Draw your knees together. Plant your feet. Slowly roll onto your back. Once your head and your back are grounded, then plant your ankles underneath your knees and lift up into bridge. Push through the whole back body except for the back of the head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale as you lower all the way down. Separate your feet a little bit wider and allow your knees to drop in towards one another. Take just one breath as you soften the inner thighs. Let the weight of the thighs ground your tailbone. Separate your knees. Last time, bridge or wheel. You're lifting your hips, or flip your palms by your ears and lift your chest. Slowly lower all the way down. Separate your knees or your feet wider than your mat. Allow your knees to windshield wiper from side to side as you loosen up your low back. Loosen up the muscles around the hip socket. Keep your both knees dropping over to the left. Now allow your right leg to stay exactly as it is. It's in an internal rotation. Keep softening around the right hip, hip flexor, and top of your leg as you slowly rotate the left knee up towards the ceiling once again. So right leg stays as it is as the left knee reaches up towards the ceiling. And even think of just dropping your left knee in towards your right. Stretch your right arm towards the back of your mat. Really reach through your right arm until the right side of your ribs pull away and create space through the right side waist. Release your right hand. Make space with your left knee to float your right knee up towards the ceiling, up towards center. Both knees drop over to the right. Keep your left knee as it is. Rotate your right knee up towards the ceiling. Stretch your left arm towards the back of your mat. Even think about your right knee dropping in towards your left. As we're holding these postures, you're observing mana. How it moves to the loudest thing, which might be a thought, an emotion, a sensation. But it doesn't stay there for long. One more breath. Create space with your right knee. Float your left knee up towards center. Bring both knees into your chest and give a little rock side to side. And let both knees drop over to the right. This time, twist your left arm out to the left. Create space on the left side waist. Take one big breath. Draw your knees to center and over to the left as you reach out through the right arm. Bring both knees into center. Curl your forehead up towards your knees. Get really rounded through your spine as you rock. And then roll to the side and push yourself up to a comfortable seat. Good. Find your seats. Create your seat. Tall spine. Low back slightly extended. Arms out, palms facing the ceiling. Close your eyes. So throughout this practice, we have created the embodiment of mana. We have moved and moved quickly. We have stepped into the practice of observing mana. Moments of stillness where we're not moving the body, but we can just still see that there's a greater awareness and movement within. And now we'll step into the last bit of our practice. In this short meditative space, see if you can come into complete physical stillness. Even in saying that, mana may start to spark and highlight the places of discomfort where you'll feel the need to shift or fidget. And so here's where our practice begins. Of understanding our nature as self, as human being, observing it, and then stepping into this space. Not reacting to the nature. Stay anchored in your intention. And by doing this, we are really simply building up our ability to focus. Not only to narrow our focus to a single point, but to create endurance in the focus. So as you keep your body still now, see if you can bring your awareness to the very subtle sensation of the movement of your breath, wherever it exists the most in your body, your belly or your chest. And keep your focus on that one spot where you feel the greatest amount of movement from the breath. As you have the intention to stay focused, it might, in that work, in that intention, start to show that that work is necessary as you become even more aware that the mind likes to move. And so if the mind wanders 1,000 times, our work is to call it back 1,001. Stay with your practice for just a few more moments. Take a slow breath in. Focus on your breath out. Just one more time there. Draw in a fuller inhale. Lengthen your exhale. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Use this moment to acknowledge your practice. Acknowledge yourself for making it to your mat, for staying on your mat. And then bring your hands from your heart to your forehead center. And in this, we see and we honor and we imagine all of the people that are getting on their mats today to step into their practice just as you did. Take one more big breath. Namaste.